Stacy, thanks for getting this in. So here are your contact sheets. Got your stuff there, looks good. Got your meter shot, and then your finals and your equipment shots. Great, multiple equipment shots, very good. And then something else over here, more meter shots. Okay, so 3 finals. So the first one you wanted to capture her expressions with, oh sorry, I'm reading the wrong paragraph. The texture of her skin, deep lines, gray hair, experience on her face. Okay, and then in this one you wanted deviousness, I believe. Mischievousness. Same difference. And then in this one you wanted her fun side, her playfulness. Okay, so what I see here, these are pretty good. You know, the lighting on your model in all cases I think adds lots of drama and interest level. I think in regard to the quality of lighting, the only problem I have is right here. She gets a little bit too dark. And then you could resolve this by either a bounce up here, a reflector, or just a little kicker light that you would have, just a tiny little light that you'd have out of the camera frame, hanging up there maybe on a boom to add a little bit of extra light to her hair and then to this eye. That would be helpful. And then in the rest of them, in regard to the lighting, I think that it's working pretty well. Yeah, maybe this one. I could probably do some more light in the eyes. The eyes are getting very dark. And then this one I think is lit beautifully. Unfortunately, her face falls out of the depth of field. But the lighting is very nice. Now, the white balance shifts significantly between here, and I'm wondering if you could get back in here and address that choice, or why it happened, or anything. And then here's your lighting setup. So you've got 3 lights, great, and that's, so this is how you're doing the backlight. You're just laying it down on its back. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, and so really my technical feedback is watch your distracting backgrounds. And I'm sure I've said this to you before, or if I haven't said it to you, I've said it to other people. And remember to always listen to all the feedback that I give to everybody. None of it's private. So I find this background very distracting. I think anybody would, any client would. And so there's a lot of ways that you could fix this. Let's look at your equipment shots. What you've got here is you've got her very pushed up against the backdrop. And all the equipment shots, we can see that she's very close to the backdrop. Now your goal should be to get that backdrop out of your depth of field. So at f4 and f2.8, that shouldn't be terribly difficult to do. You know, give her about 6 or more feet between her and the backdrop. And that backdrop is big enough to pull this off and still have everything in frame. And then it'll be out of the depth of field. It won't be in focus, so we won't see these wrinkles or these fold marks or anything, and it won't be distracting at all. And then you have some really great photos. And this is just technique, and that's what we're here in class. We're learning about this sort of stuff. So it's hard when you're learning how to use your lights. It's hard to remember how your exposure settings work on a creative basis. So remember that too. But your lighting, I see a vast improvement between last week and this week's lighting. That's great. So now we're just going to work on technique, and so that we can make the image great all the way through, because there's parts of this that are working beautifully, like her hair and this side of her face and like down here. This looks great. And then, like I said, we need more light there, but then the background just takes away so much. And same here, her hair and this side of her face is looking great. This is better than the last one, the first one in regard to lighting quality. We only have just a little bit of a dark part here. But then the background again is distressing or distracting. And then this one is probably your best lighting, really, your best quality lighting. This hair light up here is just gorgeous. I mean, everything looks great. It's just the background. That's all that's distressing. Everything else is really nice, okay? So let's just keep on working on it. You've come a long way already just between week 2 and week 3. Nice work, Stacy.